You're welcome to the AM Club right here on MX24. I'm excited to be back because this morning we're going the Gen Z era. But before we do that, in fact, it's a call in the right direction to actually have this conversation. But talking about this, are you a business owner in Accra looking to optimize your operations? Join us for a special conference on Tuesday, July 23rd, all about digitalizing your company using Odoo. Many companies in Accra are switching to Odoo to streamline their processes and increase their revenue. Did you know that the average company uses 14 different apps to run their business? This can lead to poor communication, lack of integration, and limited visibility, costing up to 30% of your revenue. At our conference, you will discover the new features of Odoo 17 and learn how it can help your business. You will get an interactive demo of Odoo 17, tips and tricks from digital aspect, success stories from local companies, and a Q&A session with our expert. Also, networking opportunities will be available. Don't miss this chance to transform your business. Add this to your calendar. Remember, that is the 23rd of July. See you there at the Marriott Hotel. Okay? Yeah, are you going with me?
Yeah. I need to know what Odoo 17 has in store.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're talking tech, so.
I mean, be watching my social media space. I still have updates on Odoo for you, okay?
We're talking tech.
Yes, we're going tech. Yeah, you're joining Baumia and the tech conversation. Well, today we are discussing evolution of artificial intelligence. Yes. In fact, what we have to accept is that artificial intelligence has come to stay. Somebody said that he has personal beef with AI.
Yes.
We'll be fine.
Big beef.
Big
Yes, big beef.
Yeah.
Maybe because of how I said it. I mean, how I was introduced to it.
Yes.
So me, I've taken AI to prayers.
Well, joining us for this conversation is Del P, a tech content creator, and was tech digital creator. Good morning.
Good morning.
Del P. Oh, yeah, that's Del P. And was. How are you doing? Good morning.
Well, doing great. Thank you.
How is the tech space doing? Have you seen them? They are sleeping on the computers. Look at their eyes. So, I mean, how's the space like? Because again, it's something foreign that has been introduced to us. How are you doing on that space?
Well, we're coping. I mean, there's a lot of difficulties. There's a lot of challenges that you have to face. But then, I mean, it depends on how you take it, you know. So, how serious you take it, that is. Yeah, so, but then generally speaking, I mean, it's a brand new thing that has come to us, especially in this region. Of this part of the world, so we just have to cope with it, and because we're not up to the extent of those outside, you get it. So
you're just keeping up.
Yeah, just keeping up. Ultimately, we'll probably get to the point where we can match up with them.
Absolutely, I think we're already almost there.
Yeah, probably.
So what at all is AI? Who's going to take that from me? Okay, Del P.
Yeah, so AI is just an abbreviation for artificial intelligence, and we all know what natural intelligence is. Previously, you'd go to school, go and learn, read something, and then you know what it is. You get it. Now you know how to write, how to read. In this sense, this is something that has been, you know, when we went to school, they said natural things, artificial things. We know about that, yeah. So the natural things are what we do naturally, the things we have naturally. Artificial one is one that was made by man, right? I'm doing RME here. So the artificial intelligence, in this sense, is just intelligence that was created by man, basically, right? And this intelligence is mostly trained by man to become as smart or maybe more smarter than a human being is.
Right.
So basically that's
digital, basically.
This is the problem that I have. And I need to be very honest, because probably I was introduced in a bad way.
Okay.
So I was told that, when I was told, I think it's about 2 years ago, I was told that, in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, my friend won't even need you to even present anymore, won't need you to do any voiceovers anymore. AI will take over your job. I was like, who is that? You know, literally, because I just didn't know what it was. Like, who is AI? You get me? And is that true? Is AI coming for our jobs, gentlemen?
Yeah, in a way, to a certain pedigree. Because now, I think we've seen most of the TikTok videos where there's just an avatar of someone and the person is talking. It has gotten extremely perfect that now you can even create videos from AI. Videos that don't exist. I don't know if you've heard about Sora.
Yeah.
Right? There are videos that will you just sit behind your PC or your computer, and they just generate a prompt. And what prompt also is one part about AI to showcase what you need to be showcased, like generating images, generating a PowerPoint presentation or anything. And the reason why AI will come for your job is if you yourself are not using the AI for the advantages it comes with, right?
Okay.
One missing aspect about artificial intelligence is creativity. It can't be as creative as we are. Like how you'd want your tone to be more natural. Like I mean, I watch you guys a lot, and I see how fun you guys can be. It will take a long time for AI to get to that level.
Okay.
For us human beings to make it a more relatable thing.
Okay.
Between, it's not going to get to that point. It's going to be boring.
Okay.
Right? So for you, your job is safe for now.
Okay.
Right?
Did you hear that for now?
Yes, because AI cannot be as creative as I am.
No.
For now.
Okay, for now.
Yeah.
Yes, because
For now.
what we are seeing and what is happening, we never thought most of these things would happen.
Absolutely,
Exactly.
yeah.
So as time goes on, things will change, and maybe, let's not hope that would happen. But most of the things I advise every time is, these things will not come up by themselves if someone is not engineering them, if someone is not using them, right? So if you're not keying a prompt, you're not using these generative pre-trained transformers, the GPTs and stuff, it's not going to automatically spring out of nowhere and then come and then
start doing something.
No, somebody has to be behind it. And that's where you take the advantage.
Do you understand? You can be on the other side of making the AI work. So again, I'm glad that you touched on the fact that when AI was introduced, it wasn't as, let me say, as smart as it is right now. So I'd like you to touch on what it has evolved into as of what it was from what it was before when it was introduced first.
Okay. So basically now we do have smart intelligent. Let me just use something that's more common. Facial recognition.
Okay.
Right. You have it on our phones, right? CCTVs all over the place, security-wise, right? You do need facial recognitions. In China, they have this system in certain areas where all around the streets, on traffic lights, poles around, they have CCTVs that, and I mean, everybody's keyed into the system. It's not like Ghana that just has Ghana card and everybody's just roaming about. Yeah, so we can identify from just the CCTV or an image on the street of you, and then we know your information in the system, right? Everything is logged in, right? So that is AI. That's something we didn't have before, right? So if a robbery happened on a particular highway or something like that, we could just easily just pull images from that street. You walked past that street that day, something like that happened, we could just easily just get you, right? At first, we didn't have that. So we'd have to manually just put wanted signs of you, and then, I mean, we still do it here. I mean, we don't have that technology here, so we'll still do it. But then, these are just some of the examples.
Not to cut you, how long would it take for us to get there?
Ghana. It's going to be a very
Africa.
long time. It's going to be a very long time.
Very long
time. Yeah.
Because for now, your job is safe.
Your job is safe. For now.
No, it's not about the job per se. I mean, we've moved past that. I'm talking about what is happening in China right now.
What is happening in China and other parts of the world. It's going to take a long time. Because one thing about us Africans, and let me just talk with respect to the country I'm in, right? We find it difficult to adapt. That's the thing. Yeah, we find it difficult to adapt. It takes a very, very long time for, expert systems in Western countries to even get here, right? Like, look at how long it takes you for you to get a 2024 model car. It's going to take a couple of years before it gets here. So things like that just makes it very difficult for us to adapt, because by the time it gets here, it's more advanced over there. Now we have to adapt to their old tech, and it's just a whole lot of back and forth like that. So it's just a whole problem.
I think there's little. Let me just top up to what he said with the detective systems. I think they are working on that. As for that, I've seen, I think recently they sent somebody a message that he skipped the traffic, and he got a message on his phone immediately that he has skipped traffic. Now they are implementing CCTV cameras everywhere. But the part where the delay comes in is, when are we going to implement it for it to be effective?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah. Also, let me add up to a few things he said. Now we have electric vehicles, and we have autonomous vehicles that are self-driving. These are all courtesy of artificial intelligence. Yeah. Initially, we used to have manual cars. Now we have automatic cars. And now we have self-driving cars. Yeah. We don't need to necessarily steer the wheel again. It just drives you wherever you want to drive.
That's what I need now.
Oh, you need that AI.
Yeah,
you don't need the one that will
the one that will come from my voice. No, I need the one that will self-drive me.
So that's just one practical example from when we had to use these kind of vehicles to now that we have autonomous ones moving around. And yeah, but AI has been there for a while.
Yeah, it's just that we are now adapting to it. So now, since because it looks like you got this. What are some of the key milestones or breakthroughs of AI? Because let's touch on the positive aspects for now. Because somebody is scared of their job. So let's talk about the positive breakthroughs.
No, now I'm not scared anymore.
AI
cannot be creative as I am, so I'm not
look
scared.
Look at how you have just
for now, like
for now.
I
like the for now. So let me leave in the moment.
Yeah,
I love the for now, so let me leave in the moment.
Milestones and breakthroughs of AI.
So now we have GPT. Which basically means generative pre-trained transformers. Initially, this wasn't there before.
What did you say that was?
Generative pre-trained transformer.
Yes,
okay. That's something we didn't know, and that was what sparked this whole AI conversation.
Yes.
ChatGPT.
Yes, ChatGPT.
Now we have ChatGPT. It came with ChatGPT 3, and now we have ChatGPT 4, and now we have ChatGPT 4.0, which is a very scary one. You can literally have a conversation with it. For those of you who don't have girlfriends or boyfriends.
So you have like a whole
that
romantic
tendency of having that deep conversation with it to a certain.
I could have a girlfriend in technology.
Yeah, this has even been there for a while. There was an app called Replica.
Yes,
it was doing that.
Yes,
too
yes, it was doing that outside Ghana. Yeah.
And that even creates the picture of the.
You think you're sitting with the person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I can cheat on my wife
more natural as
with that. Hey.
As you're sitting like this, that's what you're thinking about.
No, but it's mind-blogging. I mean, come to think of it, wow.
That's where AI has evolved into. Yeah, that's where it's gotten into.
Please, ladies, don't go saying that men are cheating with technology, please. I mean,
right. So
and now, and then now you can easily, at the back of your PC, your phone, you can just draft a cover letter. You want to write to someone. You want to do a PowerPoint presentation. Just prompt, click of buttons, and you're good to go to do. These things were not there before. Initially, if you want to create a PowerPoint presentation, you have to manually go to the PowerPoint app, look for a template, and start putting things together, looking for a slide to use and stuff. But now, just give the AI the title of the PowerPoint presentation, and it's going to generate it for you. Simple, straightforward, and the most interesting thing about it, where you have to look at this, and not the part that's going to take your job, is it cuts down time. And with that, it gives you the chance to do other things. You're able to focus on other things. People are saying it's going to make you lazy, but generally it helps you finish or do other tasks that require more attention than before. Because let's be honest, PowerPoint presentation is something that might take a lot of time to do, right?
Oh, it does.
And and maybe you have something more pressing to do at that point. You get it. You can just give it to the AI to do it for you. It handles that part for you. Then you come back. All you have to do is probably cross-check and make sure it's working perfectly.
Okay.
The cross-check part. Because a couple of days ago, my boss will be laughing by now, I tried to send a message to a WhatsApp group that we're on, trying to explain something to them. But I didn't know what. So I went to put it in ChatGPT, and it gave me the message and exactly what I was looking for. And I copied and I pasted the exact. So the header is, we have refined. I said, modify this for me. So I just said, modify this for me, and I added what I had written. So it corrected all the mistakes, and I put on the chat, and my boss told me that ChatGPT has left some traces on you.
Oh, God.
So I'm now still getting used to this thing. Again, the guilt of, I'm not doing this by myself, it doesn't feel right, has been on me. Yeah. Like, I literally...
That's what technology is about, actually.
So right. I'm thinking, okay, why am I doing this thing that I'm supposed to? Why am I letting ChatGPT do this for me? Yeah. And so I'm trying to do it manually, and so I've not gotten too accustomed to the app. So that's how I went to get exposed on my company chat.
I want, with this whole conversation, you did mention there's ChatGPT, there's 4.0, 3.0, whatever. It looks like there are a lot of applications that come out with this type of technology. Are we to engage in all the applications, or there are some that are very good, for instance, that would help, humans to, cut down whatever they want to do here or there? or would always get a reform and a better version of applications. And if you have some you'd want us to know, because this is me, JK, sitting here, and already I told you I was having a beef with AI, but now you've given me the vim to go look into it, and I know that there are a lot of viewers out there who are feeling the same. So all these applications, which ones are the ones we should look out for?
Okay. So there's actually several of them that are incorporating AI. We do have some that we use and we don't actually even know they're AI. Something like Truecaller. A lot of people use Truecaller.
Oh, Truecaller was probably the first AI that I experienced.
They do. So they do have this new feature which is actually limited to premium users though, where you it can detect spam calls. Right, for you, right? So somebody calls you and you have no idea it's a spam call.
It drops the call.
Yeah, it does drop the call, but after a couple of time, just to be able to detect, because it doesn't just detect the number through the call, right? And sometimes there are numbers, which is the one that is open for everybody, where it is tagged as a scam number, right? So Truecaller doesn't allow you receive calls like that. Even if the call comes through, it's able to detect whilst on the call, right? If it is possibly going to be a scam. And there are issues with this where we have legitimate, companies that have their lines being blocked by Truecaller, right? So in that way, you have to go through a process to take it out. But then generally speaking, we do have systems where you could block spam calls, right? And that reduces the amount of fraud, right? Another thing too is virtual assistants, right? Google Assistant. I'm not going to talk about Siri. Siri is dumb. So Google Assistant, right?
What you think? Siri is dumb too?
He does think Siri is dumb.
Of course, Siri is. Everybody knows
compared to Google Assistant, right?
There's the last on the list. I mean, before.
Is that so?
I think it's after Alexa.
After Alexa.
Alexa is also smart, but Google Assistant is like
smarter.
I haven't explored Google.
And Google Assistant with Gemini is crazy.
Gemini is also pretty new.
Yeah. So combining those two together is like
mad.
Yeah, but I mean, they're trying to make Siri smarter now with iOS 18, where they say they'll be adding some AI stuff to it.
Because right now, Siri has lost its prominence, her position in life. Please tell us about the rest.
Virtual assistants, right? And we have photo editing apps. I think Apple just talked about something which Android users are always going to say this. We've always had it on Android for a long time before it came to iOS. So this thing where you can just take out people from photos, right? Those kind of magical things that you could do.
It's happening on iPhone now.
It is. And some time ago we had is it Face App or something? Where it changes you to an old person or something.
To a cartoon or an older person.
Some things like that. Those are all AI filters that give you a beard when you don't have a beard. They put a cap on your head just to make it look as if you were originally wearing that or have that. Those are all AI, right? So you just have to pick what suits you, right? You can't use all of them. I don't use Truecaller, right? But somebody does, right? So they are going to benefit from the spam call feature, right? And virtual assistants. Not everybody uses it, but for those that are going to go towards that direction, they're going to benefit a lot from it, right? So it depends on which aspect of the apps and services you use, and then
I've seen you're using an Android phone. So
yeah, but
clearly you choose Android over iPhone.
Yeah, let me add up to what he said.
No, before you go there, iPhone or Android?
Android. We're all Android guys.
Charlie,
sorry for the disappointment.
I'm sure the guys behind the old Android.
You see what I posted yesterday?
Listen.
You see what I posted yesterday?
iPhone or Android? Android. Momsen, don't disappoint me. iPhone or Android? Period. iPhone or Android? iPhone, right? Period. iPhone. That's 4 of us, 4.
Yeah, you need to cut to the feed.
But why though? You can add it to what you wanted to say, and then tell me why you did.
When you are done, you ask me why.
I'll ask you.
Yeah, so to add up to what he said, one application everyone mostly uses, if not everyone, is WhatsApp. And now WhatsApp has Meta AI inbuilt inside, which you can easily use. Now, it's not only on WhatsApp. Even if you don't use WhatsApp, you obviously use one of Meta's platforms. Facebook, Instagram, even Threads. And AI is built in on all those
So it's a Meta, not Meta.
Meta.
And then there is Microsoft too. For those of you who use Microsoft, there's Copilot. Microsoft Copilot is wild. I mean, the things it can do.
Let me start listing them down.
Yeah,
Co-pilots.
the things co-pilots can, especially if you're somebody who is more in the office space, you're doing more official work and stuff, it's going to come in very handy. And again, those of you who use Microsoft Edge, I don't know who uses Edge these days, but if you use Microsoft Edge, there's Bing AI inbuilt there. So you don't necessarily need ChatGPT for that. Yeah. You get it. With Bing AI, you can. Immediately you're Google searching something or you're Bing searching something, it gives you the AI alternative to as well to give you a list in AI form for it as well. Yeah, so these are a few of them. There's more. ChatGPT has an app you can download and use. There's Copy AI. There's a lot.
I've seen people come out to flaw all these apps you've talked about, especially ChatGPT. And actually, they have actually come up, and I saw the video. I wish I had it earlier. I'd have given it to the team for us to watch how someone has flawed the entire process that ChatGPT generates its, its text, its responses, and how someone can actually tell that this whole thing is from AI. So you've done a PowerPoint presentation, and someone can actually dictate that this thing is from AI, not even using any other, because I know there's an app that people are using to dictate, but people can tell the structure of a text and tell that this one is a ChatGPT one. What hasn't it flawed the entire purpose of using AI-generated content?
It hasn't. It hasn't flawed it, right? So what people don't understand is to be able to use AI, for it to be humanized as possible. I mean, apart from having platforms that humanize these things, the way you prompt it is what makes it look either humane or robotic. So that is where prompt engineering is very essential.
So that's something you have to learn to.
It's something you need to know how to do. You know, you can't just go and tell the AI that generate a PowerPoint presentation of something, and then it just gives you it will give it to you in a very robotic structure. But when you go like, you are this, that, you try to let the AI know that it's human. Like, let it know that you are getting a point of view from it.
There's a reason they call it ChatGPT. You're supposed to chat with it. Right, so it's like the way I talk to you, you're not giving it a Google question.
Yeah, right? Because it's AI, it's robotic. So I'm just going to, just like you do a Google search. It doesn't work like that with AI, right? You have to prompt it, humanize it. You're a tech content creator who makes content around technology like smartphones, tips and tricks, AI websites. Generate a script or give out 5 topics about technology that the tech content creator can do. So now it's going to talk from its point of view.
Yeah.
As a tech content creator. And give you lists, bullets, PowerPoints. You can even go ahead and say, modify this particular section of the video, let it look more natural and human, define the tone a little bit. Well, that's where your job starts getting into, because now you don't have to write a script yourself.
And one thing I would like to add to that is just
but that was brilliant.
Just a quick tip for everybody, which is when I'm giving the chat my prompts, right, I do like to, at the end, I tell it to ask me possible questions. So any question at all that will require it to give me the most intelligent answers, right? So it does ask you questions. So you're a tech content creator that needs to do 1 or 2 things. It will ask you necessary questions to provide you the best possible answers, right? And that makes it more natural, like way more natural than they just asking it a Google question.
Let me disappoint all of you. Whenever I ever try to put anything in ChatGPT and it gives me that question, like, what do you like? It will ask you a question. I get really upset. I'm like, are you not supposed to know? So thank you guys so much for the education this morning. I'm happy that you're on the show this morning, watching and learning.
Clarity for that matter, because yes, it's not about commanding it. It's about having
a conversation
and being, But with all this, what are some of the disadvantages that you've realized with this, and how best can that be improved?
Okay, there's a lot.
A lot, eh?
There's a lot.
Give me like two.
If you can do all of it.
So there's this thing called so under AI, artificial intelligence, we do have a lot of subsets like machine learning, deep learning. Deep learning leads to deep fakes. I don't know if you've heard that before.
Deep what?
So deep fakes. So it can be used in the positive, it can be used in the negative. we could see a video of you just giving an announcement that you've gotten married, you know, you had two,
no,
three
no,
kids.
Don't worry.
And okay,
are.
sure. And you had two, three kids.
Okay.
And, you know, something happened, and so you need funds from, you know, like people or whoever is going to donate to you and stuff like that. And we see a video of you trending, right? There is almost no way for us to tell that it is not you.
Me.
But it wasn't actually you. That's deep fake. And so that's kind of like the negative aspect of it. A positive could be, it was used in a movie, Irishman, The Irishman. I don't know if you've watched it. You obviously haven't watched it.
No.
But it was two old actors in the movie, right? But it was used, deepfakes was used to de-age them down about 30 years younger, right? So the same actors, instead of getting two different casts or two different actors to play their younger versions, they used the same old actors and he de-aged them down to 30, 40 years younger.
Two other actors have lost their jobs.
Two other actors.
They've lost money.
Good, they've lost money, right? Yeah. So, but then it costs casting costs, right? Yeah, it cuts it down.
That's the whole idea of AI, isn't it?
That's, well, yeah, it cuts costs, it cuts time and this whole stuff. So those are kind of like the disadvantages, right? And security-wise, right? We are giving AI so much information these days. SwiftKey, the keyboard, has an integration with AI where you can, I think you can kind of do what ChatGPT kind of does, right? Give it prompts and it can just give you certain responses, right? Now, your keyboard, there's something we call a keylogger, right? Which logs in your keystrokes, your emails, your passwords, and all those kind of things. We are giving AI these information, personal information, which I wouldn't share with you, obviously, right? But then we clearly same it to don't be any problem to just give AI, right? And on the long run, if these networks get hacked, all of that information gets leaked, and you'll be in deep trouble, right? So security-wise, that's kind of like a concern.
So we are much more prone to scammers, fraudsters, and what have you?
At the same time, it's more security conscious, right?
Okay.
Yeah, your data and information is being protected. Sometimes they'll even tell you that none of your data is being collected, right? But I mean, this is technology. There is always a back end to all of this. Yeah.
From your end, what are some of the disadvantages?
Laziness, basically. People rely on it so much. I think last 2 years or last year, when AI was still fresh, there was a point where I think BEC or WASI candidates were caught that the responses they gave were made from AI. Now, I was the first person to interject and say, how did the government or whoever was marking the results notice that it was AI? Not knowing, like you said, when you use ChatGPT to do everything, it gives you the response that says, this is what I found. Or it starts with something to indicate that they copied everything. They didn't leave anything out. They didn't get the time to check. So you see, that laziness, and again, someone was saying you have to be extremely smart to be able to use these things.
Yes.
So if you're not, very smart with using things,
they copied the dito.
They copied everything.
Don't repeat that again because I did some. Don't start. My being 10,000 ma.
Yeah, so so that's one other aspect, and then people become so reliant on it that it doesn't make them as productive as they should. Like everything AI. Like I said, it's there to cut down time for you, so you can focus on the other things, so you can do the other things that require your time and your dedication.
Won't it become addictive?
Already it is.
It is. I think it is. I think it is. So one of the things that I do, because I'm one of those few people, or those many people, let me not say few, many people that is very aware of what I am capable of. And when I came across some of these apps, I tell him every time, I take social media breaks. I take social media breaks because I know how I can get very addicted to things. I'm one of those people that knows I like what I like. I know what I know. I know they go anywhere. So imagine me getting addicted to ChatGPT, and you are dead. But then again, I think that's one of the disadvantages, that addiction to it. Yeah. It's almost as if you don't want to use your brain for anything again, because everything can be done for you. When it comes to productivity, affects productivity and a lot. For individuals who are working in the corporate space, like you go to work and you're probably not doing anything mentally. Do you think that it has an effect on people?
Yeah, it makes you dull. I mean, apart from the parts where you're being smart about this, like knowing prompting well, and then, if you're learning, if you're upgrading, you're doing a lot more. It doesn't affect you mentally. But if you're just like, let me just use AI for everything straightforward.
Totally
Let me just use AI
it.
for everything straightforward. It's not
Because there's almost an AI for almost everything. Like, you could create
Apart from
essays for you,
downloading food.
PowerPoints. Apart from downloading food, but PowerPoints and almost everything you could
it
do.
looks like it's gonna be happening very soon.
Almost everything you could do in the corporate space. There's an AI for that. Like, there's an AI to detect AIs, and there's also an AI that can humanize the AI that the AI has detected.
Yes.
So
can you imagine?
Yeah, it's just complicated. It just keeps getting better or worse. I don't know. It depends on what angle you're looking at it from, right? Yeah. So, but then there's a lot of benefits. There's a lot of benefits.
But there's been the ideology of we catching up with AI because it looks like, as we said, we've identified the advantages, the disadvantages too as well. So you as a human being in between, you're finding your feet as to whether I should go in and be acquainted with AI to the extent of knowing what is coming out, what is new, what is happening and all that. So the fact that, oh no, this is actually going to make me very lazy. I don't want to get into it. It would make my focus go low and all that. How effective should we be with AI? I mean, if I should ask both of you, because you are tech gurus. So, I mean, should we always be on the lookout for the new things with respect to what would help me with my career or whatever it is, or we should be in between? There should be a balance in between.
There's a saying that too much of everything is bad, right? So now that there's there's like AI for almost everything, you know that, if I need an AI for PowerPoint presentation, I can get one. But do I necessarily have to use it all the time for my PowerPoint presentation? And even if I'm going to use it all the time for my PowerPoint presentations, am I making sure that I'm at least trying to apply a little knowledge or be mentally conscious with the kind of things I'm using it for? AI has done its part. Let me do my part. Because to be honest, I've generated PowerPoints with AI before, right? And I didn't really like the output because of how kind of straightforward and rigid it was. But somebody would just be like, let's just use it like that.
Yeah, and I can't.
So now I would pick those up and then modify it into how I want it to look like.
Yeah.
I'll go download the templates from somewhere. AI has given me the results I need. I build on that, modify it into how I want the tone to look like. You get it? But again, effectiveness. Someone would just be like, let me just use it like that.
Yeah, as long as they've gotten what they want, they don't really
Exactly.
care. Yeah.
So we shouldn't.
As long as they've gotten what they want, they don't really care. Yeah.
So we shouldn't like be so reliant on it. You know, like let's use it for when it's needed.
Yeah.
And when we can with our own, mental power or mental capacity, we do it ourselves too as well.
Another suggestion I will add though would be that even if AI generates something for you, make time to read
through.
Because you're learning. For you, it's problem solved, but do you have it in your head? Because a lot of people, and we used to do this in school, and we've transferred it to the new age as well, where we chew and pour and forget, right? So as you have gone to do all of that research or whatever answers AI has given to you, at least get to know what you've written. Because I tell you what, something happened in my school. Someone used AI to generate their presentation. And the presentation, what the lecturer told us was that we're supposed to send the presentation to him via email. He would tell us whether he wants us to come and do an in-person, what you call a presentation. But then he realized that we didn't have time. We were supposed to write our end of SEM and all of that. So he said, you know what, nobody's doing presentation. I've gone through it. Some of it is good. But if I change my mind, I'll come back. Thank God for change of mind. This man changed his mind. We're supposed to do 3 sessions, 3 phases of the presentation. Guy knows that, I did what I did. Brought the presentation, displayed it. First of all, there's AI written all over the presentation. Because you could see that this is not somebody didn't write this. Human being didn't write this thing. With the stars thing all over the thing, the ones that are supposed to be in caps and bold, all over the thing, and everybody was like, no, this guy's dead.
Plus, there's nothing in his head too, so he can't actually.
So you understand, he can't even do the presentation. Because what is over there, and you know how these presentations go, they call random, group 8, group 5, group 2, and this guy was in hot waters.
Oh.
So I say that even if you're using it, at least get to know what it gave you.
Yeah.
Now let's move to what it's looking like in the future. What potentially this could do in terms of helping us be better people. Because clearly it is draining people's energy. People are relying on these apps. People are relying on AI for everything. What could we possibly do to curb the situation so we don't lose our persons, our very beings?
So it all goes down to it not being addictive to you, right? And you not relying totally or making your life all about AI. And I mean, technology in itself is harmful in some ways, right? So we need to cut down. They tell us to, do a detox of social media, probably every day or every week. You don't let your phone be the last thing you see before you sleep, and don't let it be the first thing you see. Some people don't even check and see if they can walk before they just pick up their phones, right? And so things like this, it just makes it so addictive, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same with AI. Like, it's all tech, right? So when you look at it from one point of view, it is good, right? In terms of education, for example, the future of AI is just so bright when it comes to education, because there's this thing called personalized learning, and where I think Coursera has it, where you can select certain courses, right? And it is more personalized to you, the individual, right? So it's not like you have a class of students where some people are ahead, some people are backtracking, and you don't really know what to do, so you have to wait for everybody to be on the same page before you can proceed. This is a situation where it's all dependent on you. Like, AI can tell how far you've progressed, right? And see if you need to go further or you need to touch on a few things in the yeah. So personalized learning in education, healthcare, right? Where you don't really need doctors to, the accuracy, let me put it that way. Accuracy is more improved, right? So you can have AI have, a patient's previous history, like all of the history of that patient, and just give accurately some diagnosis that will probably help in treatment of certain,
that's already happening, or what we foresee. It's happening.
Yeah, it's happening. Those are things that are happening, right? They've started happening. So my point is, it can get improved later in the future. Like I'm saying, it's very difficult for us to adapt and those things to get here, right? So that's why we are not really seeing it.
But elsewhere, it's working.
Elsewhere, it's working, right?
But
well,
if we're seeing all these things, which I feel, because I'm not really in that space, or I might not really rely on AI for that matter, then what are some of the developments that we're looking at? Because all these things may be new to someone. You get it. So then, from this stage, or where we are right now, what are some of the developments in some of the AI tools that we should look forward to?
Robots.
Robots.
Yeah, now there are mechanical robots that are working. I think there was a video last time where there was a robot, but the thing is, these are mechanical parts, right? There was a robot trying to box stuff.
Okay.
It's an industry.
Okay.
And now they
like
don't...
a factory or something?
Like a factory, sorry.
Okay.
And now you don't necessarily need the manpower from a human being to do that. Because for a robot, they don't get tired. They don't have to go on breaks, And so they can do more work. But the robot collapsed.
At the end?
Yeah.
That's overworked, isn't it?
Yeah, overworked.
Wow.
But I see that's like a step in the right direction. I mean, it's a scary direction, to be honest, because I mean, people are going to lose their jobs. But that's one thing you should look out for once it's coming. And not long ago, I think the past 2 NFL Super Bowls, they sent robots to watch the game, and people couldn't detect that they were robots. They actually look like human beings.
Oh, wow.
They were dressed up as humans, so you couldn't...
It was later when someone was like, this doesn't look... Before they found out that it was AI, you know. And then, even in our industries, most of the machines that are being used there are based on AI. Like, let's say you're working in a bottle industry, which I've worked before. The bottles are being capped with. Where he works at, the machines they use mostly are based on AI. Like the hematology analyzer, most of these things are based on AI. So they are there already, right?
Yeah, they're there
what we are looking for is how improved it's going to be. And the scary part is, it's going to, even if you're somebody who is always dependent on this thing, it's going to get to a point where it's going to be so efficient for you that you probably not do anything.
You will not use your brain that God gave to you for anything.
There are these super rich parts in China where they barely do anything. He's entering the room, it just scans the face, the door is opened, he's not even touching the door. till he gets to his bed. The dresses, everything is being taken away by machines. So he's not going to do anything. And if this is somebody who is like always lazy and always reliant on AI, what
That's
do you
peak
do?
laziness.
Your food itself, crown, or they are going to be preparing it with AI for you. You know, so it's going to get to a point where it's going to get scary and fun, addictive at the same time, and also very efficient. But again, it all comes down to how we as humans use it.
Because we've created it.
Yeah, I'd like to add something. One thing I'd like to see in this Ghanaian space, like we talked about a lot of things which are happening outside, right? And we are not really seeing them here.
Yeah.
But there is one particular thing which I think is going to improve the workflow. So we do have chatbots, right?
Yeah, chatbot.
Which can act as customer service reps, right? So we do have them on certain apps, right? I'm wondering if my MTN app has it, right? The MTN app we use for Momo, buying airtime and stuff like that. So I don't know if customer service reps work throughout the night. Like, I don't know if they do that.
For MTN, I think someone has a testimony that something happened in the middle of the night and then they got someone to speak to them.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure, fine, no problem. So, but then there are instances where there's only so many customer service reps you can have, right? But then AI is unlimited, right? I can be having a chat with AI on my phone. You can be having, like, each and everybody in this room can be chatting with AI on their phone, right? Without having the shortage of customer service reps. They won't tell you that the rep is attending to somebody, so please hold on. That kind of thing, right? So I could just go to my MTN app, text them. It's not necessarily going to be as effective. But then there are certain things that you call my MTN customer service reps, and it's just very simple. They just help you with it, like, very easily. Those are things you can train AI to do. Just simple troubleshootings and things like that, right? Instead of having to call somebody who is actually helping somebody with a much serious matter, right? Yeah. So we can just chat with them, implement it into the apps, right? And just go there. They can start with the preliminaries. Preliminaries, right?
No, I did something with this morning, don't worry.
So they can start with
We're all
that,
in
right?
this.
As before they get you to an actual customer service rep or agent, right? So before that, it's not taking anybody's jobs too. Right? So you can see this is a situation where it's not taking anybody's jobs.
But
it's just adding to make,
productivity
is increased. Right? So that's one thing I'd like to see.
Now, areas that I feel like AI could, I don't know how well it's going to help, but you talked about the medical space, the healthcare space. That's why I'm looking at AI being advanced in. But what is the future? What does the future look like in that area? That's one. You talked about production, that's manufacturing systems. The manufacturing space, they also look like they could potentially have some good help with AI. Education, have we talked about it? We've talked about education being part. But when it comes to politics, leadership, all these spaces, do you see AI taking over, helping in any way, shape, or form?
But politics, I think it can, especially when it comes to vote counts. There should be a possibility. I mean, initially, let's just use the office space as an example. We're writing things on paper, right? We're doing paperwork most of the time. Now we don't have to. We have Microsoft Excel. We just key everything inside. The data goes in there and is processed. Elections. I think even in some Western countries, they don't have to go to the polling station.
You tried it here in New York, right?
I mean, of course, that's just one way you can also make it work, you know. So everything is monitored digitally. But you know, there's most of the time these things have their downside. So everything, there's a good side and a bad side. Things like this could easily be broken into.
Trump had something like that during his time, where it was rumored that he had people hack into the system to give him more votes or things like that. It did happen during his time. So
instances like this can happen, but that is also a way to help.
Would you recommend that than the manual one?
In this country, I would actually...
Deep breath, like,
for now, no.
For now, no. Because we have the potential of it being hacked, rigging elections could go high.
And we know how things look like in this country now.
Of course.
People will be... Desperation will set in so much that things will happen that shouldn't have happened.
People would love to see the 1, 2, 3 than just telling us it was 50 or 60.
Someone will say that's also drawing us back, but then for now, like you said, for now we don't need that. No, we are not.
But you do know or are you expecting us to get there?
Yeah, eventually. Yeah, it's a digital age, you know. Everything is becoming digital, you know. Initially, you probably would have come here with your tablets. You'd be holding a sheet of paper.
Yeah.
You get it? So now you have tablets now. So it's just, as time goes on, we adapt. We should adapt. That's why he said, we are slow to adapt, but eventually we'll get there.
We'll get there. DLP and Wise. Listen, this is one of my favorite interviews. I have been on the show for how many months? 6, 7? I've enjoyed this conversation thoroughly because you people are on top of your game. I'm looking forward to us having a different conversation, but in the same space. Thank you so much for coming.
And you loved it because you use ChatGPT.
Hey, no, you see, again, that thing I did deterred me from using ChatGPT again.
But you have to go back to it.
About that.
Yeah, because I was like, now my boss will be thinking I'm dumb. Because if you didn't know what she wanted to write, and on top of it, someone gave you an answer, you copied everything you must be really, really in trouble. But listen, Mr. I'm not even like that. So it deterred me from using the app. Because I'm like, these people, I didn't call Mama because I could have written this thing. Forget about it. But then again,
if you do know how to prompt it, you would get the best out of it.
I've learned that today. Yeah. Now I'm going to figure that out and see how that works. And Jay is not losing his job anytime soon.
Oh, no,
so at least we have
that.
For now,
that's
he's good.
one for now.
For now, he's good, yeah.
And as for
Futurist Kwame did this to this guy.
Apple 4D.
I'm going to move to Android very soon so that my P...
Yes.
You wanted me to ask you why you don't want Apple. Why don't you?
Because of Adam and Eve. They had an apple.
That's a very good...
That's the best result.
That's a very good... Yeah.
Everything got sports. After Adam and Eve had an apple, everything got sports. So go to Android. Simple.
Yeah, right.
I
I believe in you. You're a good man. Thank you, Delphi and Wise, for coming through.
Thank you for having us.
And if you joined this conversation, I know, just like myself, you have enjoyed it thoroughly and learned a thing or two. Thank you so much for being a part of the show this morning. I will move straight to The Plug right after this.